So, I'm gonna give this a shot. I watched a bit of this last night after the game ended. I have a vague understanding of what went wrong, but this is my first time actually being in the STV, so let's see what happens. Right off the bat, Saya fast bombs me. Easily cleaned up. Wait a second, stop. I called a left side on this mid, and look where we are. You have Miles, who's in the center. You have Fusion, who's on far right. You have Viper, who's on pack. You have Space, who's on the other pack. You have me, actually on the left side. We are just all spread out over here, and if they hadn't just lost 2 players very fast in this fight, they could have just chosen a side, picked off the few people who are isolated, and pick off the rest. And this is a theme that happens a lot on just about every single mid. I feel like I will call one side, and then everyone just leans to the right usually. And I feel like whenever I try to go right, people start leaning towards the left. Thankfully this team wasn't very clean on their mids, and we were able to still win, but this would have posed a much harder problem against better teams.
Alert. The control point is being captured.
So we basically wiped them. The only casualty is Donovan, who died very early, so he should be respawning very fast. Already, they're only 2 up. It's just Scythe in lobby and Crab who's building a sentry. So we should be able to walk into lobby here, bully Scythe out, and already be picking on the sentry. Donovan, because he's coming so late, we can just use Viper as a pocket, and Donovan can maybe recommit through rollout. Instead, we decide to wait. And they're already 6 up. Sentry's already level 3. Right here, we decide to commit through 3 door and plans out, and right now Fusion enters, and we drop our pocket, and the super is already not that great. I dumped 300 damage into this sentry, and it doesn't die. So there, we kind of rushed it in the sense that we walked in at the wrong times, and we also played it too slow because we were walking in ready to use when they were already like 6 up and entirely set up. So the team has about 70% Uber advantage. Basically giving this up no contest. I was able to pick off a scout on mid, but we have a sniper, so we can't really do a whole lot with a pick other than kind of sit back. Team still wants to push. Looks like they're going through choke right now. Their pocket just gets destroyed. So that kind of kills their push, the Durati into the skybox. Our Uber equalizes, and the fight favors us because they're down Unicorn Wizard, who dropped 300 DPM, easily the highest on the server, and we have the sniper. So yeah, we're playing this right. We're just starting to walk through. Force their Uber. Right Justify for some reason bombs our choke and dies without doing anything. Crab should be easy to kill here. Spies. Okay. So right now it's a 4v5. They focus fire our pocket. And we just lose 3 more. So right there we just had no positioning. We just had no positioning at all. We had like at least 1 person on them, and we were still kind of just faffing about on our side. If we had at least 1 scout standing up top, the soldiers who had jumped in would not have been able to focus on 1 person and just instantly mulch 3 of us.
Alert. The control point is being captured.
Fusion does survive, so there's some silver lining.
Time has been added.
So they have about 30% advantage on us, so it wouldn't hurt to have a sentry, definitely. Okay, so Miles is coming at sentry now, and we should be building this, because if they build this now, and they push us when we are at effectively 50 disad, okay, so we're building. That could have been very bad. They spawned Saya, so I don't think they're aware of how much they had. Scythe on Sniper. So if I remember right, Scythe goes lobby and kills 2 of us. Peeks here and he kills Donovan. Then he re-peeks in top lobby and kills Space Ghost. Alright, so already this has good Uber written all over it for them. But a surprise sentry in lobby kills Crabf. They still Uber in. I'm probably in dangerous here of getting picked off here. So they still haven't forced the Uber out of us. So this is good. This is fine. That surprise sentry really kind of killed the push because it forced them early, and like half of them were on half HP when they walked in, including Right Justify, who I think did like nothing that push. Shade Steel has a surprising 30% advantage though. Let's see how they play off that.
Time has been added.
Right Justify is in a very bad spot here. This is weird. We decided to push here, even though it's practically 66. Guess one of them was stuck in respawn. We lose 3, but we do kill their medic. And ours stayed alive. And then, yeah, these players are all pretty hurt except for Unicorn Wizard. If this team wanted to push and kill us, they probably could, or force us at least. They're just kind of scared, so they don't. So we walk back in. Their med is just now arrived to the fight and start giving them buffs. Yeah, this is good. Right here, I'm trying to focus on getting them off top. Soldier jumps in and kills our medic.
Alert. The control point is being captured.
Crap buff should die here. So far, it just looks like a pretty basic leapfrog is going on, except
Time has been added.
Crabf is still stuck behind. They're still down Unicorn Wizard too, and as I said, he's like was their main damage output. Crabf dies. The Ubers are basically even, so they're not going to push on it. Just speed it up a bit. So we sack both players and soldiers to get a force. Okay, this just goes terribly. So we have a better Uber and choke, but Miles and me get knocked out of the fight, and we can't commit and make this fight good, and then they just collapse on us.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
Yeah. Viper commits on the medic, gets nothing. The disset isn't even that big. The thing that's really going to kill this point is going to be number 2 advantage. There's a play going on the medic though. So Plan tries to go for the medic, ends up killing the scout, delays their push a significant amount. It's not enough to fight on. Yeah, and doing that much damage to the medic also meant they couldn't really build that much, so they still have a 20% advantage on us. It was like less than 10% though. I think that's just the difference that building is making. right here is what I'm saying. Hey, you can push 5-door and kill the scout. I have him stuck off, but that doesn't lead to anything. Right now it's even. Syed sacks. This I remember was very confusing. So Plan wanted to exchange here because their combo was so close and he could pick up, but Space Ghost kept counter-calling him to knots. So we kill 3 of them. And then we force out here. And I think everyone was just like so confused by the constant calls that we didn't know what to do, and I got dropped in the Uber. So they start to flood lobby because we're still down me at the demo, and we just lost Viper. Storming through 5-door. Right here. Right here. Okay, I feel like if you're a pocket and you see everybody going through 5-door, you don't want to be standing at 1-door because you're essentially not doing anything except occasionally spamming people for 40 damage. Not meaning to toot my own horn, but I was all the way over by the opposite side and I was spamming them the whole time, and I have 50 health after doing who knows how much damage. Plan is still on an overheal buff, and he's done not really a whole lot for this. So I say Plan either should have been over there spamming with me when Viper died in lobby, or Fusion should have been dumping more heals into me, because otherwise the heals weren't really going to any use at all. I do believe I end up dying very early. Yep. I think that was just poorly positioned by us. We just gave him way too much space to walk in. I was dead before that push started, but when I respawned, I dropped a lot of damage on them and then backed up to our medic and didn't get healed. And our pocket was still in the top right. Okay, I remember this. This is where they did nothing. The enemy team did not bomb soldiers, their scouts barely took positions, and I literally walked across point into their grass, turned left, and then just killed like 2 of them. But what I did notice overwhelmingly was that our soldiers were not making space for our scouts. I saw Viper land around here, and I saw Plan land right around here, and our scouts were fighting alongside them. If the demo wanted to spam up top and nail one of you, it would just nail all of you. And furthermore, your soldiers are up here. Well, now what? You're just going to spam like 40 damage rockets onto them. You're not making space for your scouts to move on. You're also not dropping big damage onto the enemy gamers. Again, that we won that mostly because they just did not do anything. 100% add. This should be easy. It isn't easy. Nobody scouts this out. We're clustered 4 together. And we dropped 2 right when the super starts. It's because we weren't clustered, we didn't know what we were walking into, and so we didn't know what we were Ubering. I try last minute here to try to kill the medic. Fusion dies super late. And yeah. That would have been elevated so much if we had known that Sentry was there beforehand and we knew what we were doing with the Uber. But instead, we were kind of just going every Uber candidate together, seeing what could happen. And then when one person got Ubered, the other 2 people just got destroyed by explosive spam. So right here they're flooding IT, which is, I think, the right play. Pick our sniper. I think they're gonna pick our scout too. Yeah. And then they pick our soldier. Like, me and Fusion are the only starters. So it's fine to sack 1 or even 2 players to try to get a force out, but losing 4 players without getting a single kill is just confusing. I don't understand. Like, when the first person, like Space Ghost or I think it was Viper, died, everyone else should have just been in full survival mode, because we end up giving second away for free because we were down those players and we didn't even force. and we could have had more off classes on last. And right here, they're just going to destroy us because we didn't have buffs, we didn't have anything set up, and then we didn't have Uber. Nice shot, that point. So this is sort of what I keep talking about. Like, we don't lose 1 or 2 players, we lose the entire team. And that lost us mid for free, that lost us second for free, and eventually it lost us last, practically for free. It's fine to sack 1 or 2 players, it's not fine to sack 4 players and lose everything. I think we actually lose this mid if I remember right. So Viper's actually in deep, distracting, and then Plan's in deep too, and our scouts are picking up the slack. Okay, so we win this mid. So, what I saw Plan do is that Plan kind of jumped on here, and then he dropped down and walked across and kind of jumped them here. If he had been hit by like a rocket or a sticky up here, that could have just killed the mid if it had been like a more offensive team. Viper did a fast bomb through IT and onto their medic, and we just kind of walked in the confusion. Fusion did die, however. So, we're practically even. I don't think mids were a problem on this fight. The enemy team was just not prepared at all for what to do on mids. And it's like, the 1 or 2 mids we lost, it's just like, that's the randomness factor on mids. You will lose mids, and there's just like nothing you can do about it. Sometimes it's just unlucky, or a player went huge that you never could have planned for, or, I don't know. Mids are weird. So that is our sack. I think this is when I started calling that Right Justify literally always plays in lobby. There's nothing wrong with dying now. There's nothing wrong to dying to that now, but later that just becomes really, really, really stupid that people keep dying to the same trap that is on top of these stairs or on top of this choke. They're literally always there, and I'm not exaggerating. I think at least 5 or 6 people die to it across this entire map. The same trap, in the same spot, in the same circumstance. It's just like, demo in an enclosed space. Maybe he has sticky traps over chokes. Just kind of stupid. But whatever, so... we have a spy. Pretty sure a spy does not get any kills in this. Ah, so close. Alright, that's fine though. Syas on sniper. This is fine. The sniper can't really peek for free, and that's really all you should be doing. We spawn on scout again. Right now, we should already have a plan on what we're doing. And I guess Space Ghost is going for a sack. If I remember right, he was trying to go for Syath, and he almost killed him, but got picked up by the sentry. Unicorn Wizard sacks, because pocket sacks are great. Nice rockets for Plan. Yeah, this is very basic. There's really nothing to say here, this is just 6s. I saw that, Viper. I saw you peek the trap where you knew the demo was and almost died to him. That's like the second time that's happened in the last 2 minutes. So right here we like get a pick on show, and we just immediately go for an Uber exchange, already knowing that there's a sentry out that we can't do anything. Thankfully nothing really amounts from the Uber exchange. Oh, but we lose Plan and guess Donovan died too. Well, we lose Plan and Miles. Kill their pocket on the transition, we killed the medic. Wow, we were down 2 players and we had a sniper and we somehow killed their medic and their pocket. That's pretty weird. And we're starting to win this because they don't have heals and they don't have like their main source of damage output. Alright, and this is kind of weird. We're all over the place. That was probably more on me for walking a different path.
point is being contested.
So we win the round, and that's mostly just because we baited them to second and killed them, which is, I think, the way how we won all of our rounds in this one. Red is leading 2-1. Okay, so we win this round, and then we stalemate for the last half. I remember now. Look at those stickies. Alright, so my health is pretty shit. Their health is looking pretty
The
fine.
control point is being captured.
Viper bounds in on the medic. We should already be in. Viper dies, and we're not really doing much of anything. This already tells me this mid's going to be kind of shitty. Yeah. So, what happened here was that Viper bombed in super duper early onto their combo. He got like 1 or 2 rockets off, and by the time he died and the team had like regrouped and was ready to push ours, like we had both scouts up top staring at like something over here. We had me that was like tentatively peeking here. I forgot where plan was. And, you know, it was just a 5v6, and then they just killed us. And the shitty thing was, a soldier walked through IT or sewer and walked all the way behind us. So they essentially fought us 5v5 and won. So the thing there was either Viper got too antsy with his bomb, or we were way too passive about following up. Oh, and this is sort of what I'm saying. This is what really bugs me about this team. Our medic died on mid. So we had both scouts spawn, and we just now have a sentry going up. But in the meantime, our pocket died for a sack, and our spy, who was out there and saw our pocket die first, still committed and still died. Right now we're 2 down, and they could have walked in and shit on us easily. The only silver lining is that I dropped their medic in lobby. But like, yeah, our sentry is like level 2 in a weird spot. Space just now respawned, and if they had it pushed at right then, I think that would have been the 3rd round.
Alert. The control
It's just
point is being captured.
mind-boggling. It's fine for Viper to go for the pick, for the sack, because he would have been up just in time for the push to start, but it's just not worth it for a spy to die to it too. The reward is worth it to drop the medic, but the risk is not worth it at all, if that makes sense. Like, it's a good reward, but it's a bad risk. Oh, here's a funny thing too. Soldier came from choke and killed our medic. Space is in their choke, and I think Miles was on top of right crate. And they were here and here, and the soldier that forced our medic was over here. And this is kind of the reoccurring theme that I'm talking about, that like, there's just, we need a satellite scout to just stop all this shit from forcing and killing our medic. We're still down 1. It's fine for us to kind of bide our time here, especially because we don't have forward spawns, but if possible, we could sack Viper or Space Ghost right now while they're still down our over, and maybe like get a dumb pick on Right Justify, who barely played with heals, or their medic. This is a fine position from everyone, except Space Ghost, who gets magically pre-fired in here. So I don't really understand that. So they push IT. Space Ghost being dead means we have like nothing to do. Okay, so they force and we still lose 2. They have every right to keep pushing us and win. But we're about to get Uber. They lose 2 as well.
Time has been added.
We can keep going. We have Uber. It's 4v4. It's actually 6v4 now. Like, if we walk at them, they're just 4 players. They're all right here. And what's more, like, Right Justify is horribly out of position and dies really early. Now Crab is taking a 1v1 plan. Yeah. So we won that, but I feel like it could have been a lot less painful if we had just walked in and just said, we are 6 players with Uber versus their 4 players without Uber. I absolutely don't understand what's going on.
The control point is being
We have uber advantage, yet we practically just sacked 2 players. And if it wasn't a sack, they were just weird bombs. Like, it's fine for our roamer to jump in and make space, but you could land up here or back here where it's really shitty for people like who are staring at the choke where everyone's going to be walking through it to turn around and shoot you. But instead you kind of just landed on the floor and like one person shot at you. I don't know, it's just... The distraction bomb could have been cleaner and you could have survived a lot longer. You would have done a much better way of making space other than just like landing on their medic's head and killing them. Oh, and by the way, that's like, I think 3 people who died to the trap. Yeah, so what happens here, I remember, I call that their demo's in lobby, and we should not fight lobby. Unless we plan on using early and maybe like trying to force their demo. But what happens is, Space Ghost dies to the upper lobby choke, Right Justify peeks lower lobby and kills me because I'm like standing nearby. And then he also kills Miles when he's trying to retreat. And right here he's about to force fusion. Drop him actually. And it's just like, you knew the demo was going to be there. Why are we dying to this? There was just no communication. Like, are we going to walk around the demo and try to kill the team around him? Or are we going to walk into him and try to kill him with the brunt of the Uber and then just try to win while the team's down a demo, which would require forcing point? It's just bizarre. So, miraculously, Viper kills a bunch of people.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
It's 4v2. Why are we so afraid? It's 4v2. Why should we be afraid? They're really only 1 up. Everyone should be like holding down the tab button and screaming. It's 2 people without heals versus 4 people with heals. This should be easy. This should be free. Alright, so we do push. That's fine. I would have been a little triggered if we hadn't pushed. They're 3 down. Just walk in. Just walk in. We will probably kill them. We just happen to walk into the only doorway that's guarded by their entire team. And we still had a sniper. I don't know. It's just... %, Uber ad isn't really a whole lot to work on with the sniper. So their demo is still in lobby. Let's see who dies to him next. I mean, even so, why? Are you like expecting him to death? Oh well. They're not really doing anything with a pick, thankfully. What they should be doing is they should be having a soldier down here and jump up, but their soldier wasn't playing in lobby. So, yeah. I mean, they did absolutely nothing with his pick. They didn't counter sack, their sniper didn't take any risky angles. Oh, this is the weird play. I just want to say, if we hadn't gotten this miracle push off, and like something happened, like our medic died or our pocket died, this would be a really shitty spot to try to leave second with without like losing everything, because we don't have scouts. We have a sniper and a heavy. And if this push had gone sour and our sniper and heavy had still survived, I don't know how we would have been able to push this. It's just, you need scouts to bait point, was the thing I really wanted to say. That's how you win last points. You have scouts bait point. Luckily we win because of the collateral kill. That includes dropping their medic and their scouts. Yeah, look. It's such a clean push. And it takes us until we wipe their team to start baiting point. So that wouldn't have worked unless that very thing had happened. Or like our roamers that just like gone straight for point. 4 minutes remaining. We win this mid, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, did you see that happen again? I was playing left, our medics in main center, both our scouts are right, and I don't know where our soldiers are. So right now our soldiers were in, we should be in with them. You're not. Right here is where we should be playing defensively. That's a nice pipe by yours truly. Again, that was just poorly played by us, but even poorer by them. We lost both our soldiers like right away. We lost both our soldiers right away, and we were all separated. They just did the wonderful thing of walking into the team and not doing any damage. Okay, Scythe dies, and they're still down Big Show. They don't even have a sentry yet. It would be a really good idea, like, they're down one of them just respawned and one of them is building a sentry. You could just have a roamer or a scout walk in on this confusion and number disat and go for a stupid pick, like Right Justify, who's alone in lobby, or Shade Steel, who was about 20 seconds ago without any scouts. I don't know. I'm just a big proponent of sacking when there's going to be a stalemate when the stalemate hasn't started yet. Right now, this is where I give the idea of the heavy push. I didn't want to do the heavy push right off the bat because the main thing about the heavy push is that you do it when there's no time left. And there was still 3 minutes. There was still enough time to get a spy or a sniper in here, have him die or fail, and then go with the heavy push. So I think what ends up happening here is that we kind of just putz around and wait for something to happen, then we go for that heavy push, which we absolutely fail on. The STV says there was roughly, 4 minutes left. There would have been plenty of time to go for a sniper or a spy play, and then go for the heavy play if that didn't work. Because we're just waiting. And the other thing I wanted to do here is that we could have just sacked Viper in. Because if we had sacked Viper in, they would have said, oh, they're down a player. Maybe we can counter-sack and get the next round going. They get baited into all of us on point and a heavy, who I think should also be on point. They kind of just get casually shit on because there's a 450 heavy, a 300 pocket, and a 260 demo man. They lose like 2 or 3 players, maybe even get the Uber forced, and then we can re-push when Viper spawns with Uber and a heavy. But we don't do that. We kind of just sit here and just wait. But you get what I'm saying. We bait them into our heavy, we kill them, and then we re-push. Instead, we do no baiting, we just sit here. The other alternative to the heavy push that I say is that you go in, you exchange with your combo, you back up, you let the enemy combo come into you because they have a better Uber and they're trying to chase, and they just walk into a 450 spun up heavy who just chews through them, and the confusion. And the confusion just kind of favors the heavy. But right here, we go through the absolute worst door, the place where we are easily stuffed, we can't destroy the sentry, and we make our heavy have the brunt of the Uber. I mean, to me, if I had it my way, I would have the combo try to exchange in 3-door or something. They would just jump out, we would use early, we would get a rocket on the medic, force him, and then we would kind of back up into here, back through 3-door, so we have our entire team stacked in 3-door. The combo and like maybe the demo kind of they kind of go peek back in to see if they can get a random pick, and then there's just a heavy sitting right about on upper lobby or like on the stairs who just shoots people, kills their push, and while they're all clumped up like trying to figure out how to fight a heavy, that's when you kind of just like let the DM roll and see if it favors the heavy or the not heavy. I don't know. That's my idea, but I think we can all agree that trying to go for an Uber exchange in Shutter with a heavy who can't escape the Uber or do anything with the Uber and just having him die afterwards, doing nothing but just, you know, padding DPM, doesn't work out. I think really the only map that, really the only place that a heavy push favors is, what's it called? Is, yeah, doing it in lobby or just, I don't know, maybe rollout. But the point is, you want the heavy to come in after the air exchange. So this is just trash time. I'm gonna skip through this.
The control point we have secured. Stalemate. Alert. The control point is being captured.
Blah, blah, blah.
One.
So overall, what I'm seeing is just that, like, neither team has a plan. Neither team, like, knows what they're getting into, and they don't know how they want to react to anything. They're just kind of letting DM and letting random bombs work. And that amount of disorganization does not work in IM. It works somewhat in open, just because you can have better DM. Okay, so here's the same mid we always do. Viper goes in, takes an embarrassingly long amount of time to kill them. Kills the medic.
The control point is being contested.
So, again, this is just the thing that either Viper's bombing too early, or we're not following up on his damage, and I'm starting to lean towards Viper bombing too early. And another thing I noticed was that Right Justify was walking right in front of here and trying to, like, push our choke every single mid. If Viper had just stayed in lobby a bit more, he would just been able to, like, put like 2 or 3 rockets here and just destroy their combo. He killed them at least. But yeah, it's just disorganization. Like, I would call we're going left, and I wouldn't hear like, okay, I'm going to bomb them if they're in grass and everyone should go on, or I will do a high bomb into their choke or something. Just kind of felt like I would see players go in, I would just try to do something based on that. I'm just saying, there wasn't really a plan. It was just kind of like, you see and you react. It's not really like you think ahead. We don't have a scout. Even if we get a pick here, our only option to counter sack is either plan doing a counter sack or just Space Ghost going for a deep peek. I don't know, it's fine to go NG heavy sniper, but I think that should be in like super disad spots, not where it's completely dead even. Okay, Space Ghost goes on spy here. I think he actually gets something. I remember looking at this later and thinking this was the most retarded thing I've ever seen. Alright, so he whips one stab. Ah, that doesn't happen yet. And yeah, that's why I'm so lucky that he misses his rocket here, but that's why you don't really push the demo in lobby, because in these tight chokes. I got pushed out because I was playing solo. Right Justify always had at least a soldier or a scout with him. Kill Right Justify. And it's like, if I had had someone with me, after I piped this soldier, a scout or a soldier could have just easily killed Syaf. So this is a fine push here. They're 3 down. If I remember right, Unicorn Wizard walks through top lobby from upper IC and just backcaps. No, he doesn't. This isn't that round yet. But he does do that. We do 9-4. I remember this. This is where I say it's 4v6. Fuck them, I'm jumping. And right here, we could just walk into them like we are in choke, or we could just bully them because Syaf was in such a shitty spot like 10 seconds ago. Killed Syaf before the Uber started and then had a good Uber. we get seconds,
Alert. The
but I
control
feel like
point
it
is
was
being contested.
very sloppy. I don't know, we just barely got two kills. Oh, and then Miles dies to the demo trap that's been there for the past 30 minutes, I want to say. So they have Uber ahead here. We should not be playing this close. Yeah, having Space Ghost and Sue is probably the most demoralizing thing for them to push into. Yeah, they're just letting the Uber. They're just letting the Uber go, even though it's a hefty like 50% advantage. That's really weird. That's not really something. Yeah, if they wanted to solo Uber us in Shudder right now, Fusion has 70%. They would just kill us. They would just kill us. Like, this is what I'm talking about, us playing the Uber game wrong. Instead, they have a heavy and a sniper, and they just don't feel like pushing. This is sort of what I mean by we play our Uber games wrong. And then this happens. I'm still not really a fan of Uber exchanges when we have a sniper up, because normally Uber exchanges just result in a normally Uber exchanges just result in like kind of a positional switching, and since we have a sniper, unless the sniper hits something, which Space Ghost usually does hit something, unless the sniper hits something, he is just not a player, and the team's gonna favor the fight's gonna favor the team with fraggers.
Alert. The control point is being captured.
We kill 3 of them. Not entirely sure how that happened, gonna be honest. We kill like all of them. Oh, here's something. This is annoying. This is super, super bad. So we should have been holding tab, and we should have been able to see they're 2 players up. We just killed their medic. We are 5 players up. They're gonna go for our medic, and because it's 5 versus 2, there should be no reason for our medic to die here. We should be holding tab, and we should be saying they're going to go for our medic. We should do something about it. Look, they have both soldiers right here on our medic. Where are both of our scouts? In choke, looking the opposite direction. So what happens here is that I'm fairly certain Fusion dies.
Alert. Our
So this is like a team-wide beef. Like, none of us were looking behind, and I don't even Fusion called anything happened until he died. Pretty sure everyone just heard the original rocket jumping, and they assumed it was Viper or something.
control point.
But that's just what I mean. There just needs to be a bitch scout who just walks around sucking up heals, doing no damage, and making sure our medic never dies because of it. Because this pick here that Unicorn Wizard gets fucks us and costs us the round.
Contested. Alert. The final control point is being contested.
Space Ghost almost back at them. That's pretty sad. I saw that. It's just like, yes, you don't have the most impressive stats when you take all the heals, and it's just kind of hard to be the satellite scout. But it wins. It works. So we lost Space. We lost Fusion. Now we lose Plan. And now that we're down our pocket, they should just have every liberty to be pushing us. Oh, and then we lose Viper when Plan respawns. So, what the heck is that? So imagine that instead of Viper jumping from upper IT into choke and dying, instead he just stood up top here and just splashed this ramp when all of them just single file walk through at once. It annihilates people. Like, we used to have this thing on my old team. We would have a soldier standing here, the other soldier would be standing here, you would have the demo, this was before Iron Bomber, like standing around here, and you would just triple spam the choke, and it was impossible to walk through without like getting forced or just dying outright. Instead, we sacked our pocket, then right after we sacked our roamer, and now they're walking through. and our pocket has just now arrived for the fight. We use, and I know already this is going to be a shitty use because we have no positioning and they have a better Uber, and Viper has just now respawned. Oh, and I'm going to die to whoever this scout is in lobby. I don't know. The exchange wasn't shitty. It was just the fact that it happened too late and we lost too much because of it. Like, it's fine to go for an exchange there to equalize Ubers, but not if it means everyone dying. Because at the very least, we could have backed up and tried to protect point for that precious 10 seconds of Uber and wait for respawners. It's just questionable plays like these where it's not entirely wrong that kind of boggle my mind.
Alert. The control point is being captured.
Okay, so we pick up Syath. Our health is not the strongest, but it really does look like we're a little more clustered, which is fine. What the heck is Viper doing? Not very glorious. So right now we should be healing and be ready to repush them. Instead, Plan, who's over here, kind of goes on a glory bomb and kills them, and then Miles and Space Ghost just get taken out by focus fire.
Alert. The control
Yeah, that was
point is
just
being
everybody
contested.
acting in a unit. It was a 4v5. If we had healed and repushed, we would have won. Instead, everyone just kind of rushed it and got destroyed. But I don't know, it's kind of hard to orchestrate and think that far ahead in mids.
Alert. The control
Again, I
point
don't
is
think
being
mids were the
captured.
problem. This is weird. I don't know why you would do this. Because now they can just take lobby for free, which they are, because we don't have a roamer to watch it. Well, they're not taking lobby for free. Yeah. So now they're... Okay, so they didn't do anything with it, but if they had just walked in lobby and started walking 5-door because our roamer was dead, that could have just been really bad, which is why you don't really have the defending team sack. It's just, I don't know, it's just a very basic concept. If you own mid, you sack. If you don't own mid, you defend and you counter sack. I can understand going for a medic force and maybe being up in time for the Uber exchange to happen, but you're already putting your team in a shitty spot. I think this is where Space Ghost actually gets the drop, the retarded drop. This is where Syath first does nothing on Spy. Yep. I mean, this is a retarded drop, actually, but I think it was rather, like, a little bit well played for us. So we go in while there's still one down. Right here, Space Ghost calls for us to spam point. We get a spam. Oh, and 1 whiff, 2 whiff, 3 whiffs. Well, the third wasn't really a whiff, but it's just a really dumb play. We go out there, we go for an exchange, and Unicorn Wizard walks through what looks like lower lobby and just backpacks us.
Alert. Control point is being captured. Victory.
That's just... I guess because we didn't have Space Ghost, we didn't really have much a person to check on flank, but I feel like that was on many people. I think I was walking through upper lobby when that happened, so you could say it was on me just as much. So playing left, there's no positioning by either team. I mean, Plan is getting free spam over here, but Viper hasn't done anything, and our entire team's just cluster and choke. If they bombed us, this could be bad. Press Justify dies. Viper gets shit on. Yeah, the team.
The control point is being captured.
We win that. Not entirely sure how.
The control point is being captured.
I think that was just them not doing anything. Like, after Right Justify died, their soldiers... Like, one soldier bombed, but the rest of their team just stayed clumped up over here, and they just eventually got picked off. I don't know, the mids look a little better, but there's still way too much of everyone just spreading and acting as a unit, as an individual instead of as a unit. Okay, this is dumb. This is just retarded from all of us. So, Uber advantage. We are down 2 rounds. We still have 60% advantage, but Space Ghost spawns on Spy. I know, like, the sentry's still level 1 here. We could walk in, we could kill the sentry. We could do a lot of things with an Uber exchange, but instead we have to play around a Spy. I mean, we could even just have the Spy walk in, go for the Uber exchange, and just have the Spy, like, back cap or randomly stab them.
That was getting
And Right Justifies taunting, too. And we could probably just pick up Right Justify in a shitty spot. It's just so dumb. We got like 3 or so mid-wipes where the med had like huge disadvantage, we had huge advantage, we had second, and we just don't do anything, or we beef our Uber exchange because we usually ended up dropping someone into Uber. I just don't know. It's just really frustrating. We had 50% Uber advantage, and Spy happens. So for the first time, Right Justify isn't watching lobby. Also, another comment, there should be a... Yeah, Miles should be playing close to the medic right here. Okay, he is, thankfully. Because it's not going to happen in this current confirmation, but if a soldier jumps from, say, upper lobby or lower lobby here onto our medic, like, what really can a pocket or a demo do about it? A scout can do a lot about it. But, like, when we have an off class, the other scout has to be the satellite scout, even if it isn't that their dignified bitch role. Oh, Miles dies to the sticky trap in lobby again. I want to say that's his 3rd time dying to it, as well as other people just walking into it and almost dying it. We don't have to give this up. We have Uber. We can Uber plan onto them right now. Get this.
We have lost the control point.
Okay, thankfully that's what we do. So they just get overly ambitious. And yeah, that's another instance of our scouts just needing to play helicopter scout. I mean, Space Ghost and Miles were still relatively close, but they should have been ready for someone to just sack on their medic anyway. And that's the last round we win. So right around here is where I thought the lack of scouts next to our medic was really killing us. And this is the last round. I am way too aggressive on this mid. Oh, that's because Right Justify does something. So I call everyone focus the demo. We kill the demo, that's great. And we already have both soldiers inside of them. And we don't follow up. Look at me doing the wiggle down there. Our soldiers are just way ahead of our scouts, or our scouts just are not catching up with our soldiers. But like,
Time has been added. Alert, alert. Our control point is being captured.
I mean, they're just doing the thing, as I said, that they just walk in, they just don't do damage, but our soldiers and our scouts are playing way too disconnected. Right here, we definitely should have had someone on cap, and we just all die. That's just poorly played by all of us. And yeah, I'm pretty sure there's nothing really to say about the rest of this round, other than the fact that our medic dies here? Does he? Okay, that's fine. It's just like Space Ghost spawned on Sniper. He was sniping them in choke while there was a soldier on our medic, and Plan was just very frantically shooting him, and Fusion was very frantically dodging. A scout would have really helped the soldier not kill our medic. I mean, Fusion survives, thank God, but like it could have been so much easier, and instead we just have a sniper who dies, which is why I'm not a very big fan of off-classing, except for last. Miles dies, we have no scouts, Fusion dies,
Control point is being contested.
Oh, there's nothing really to say other than this one we weren't counting our Uber disadvantage, and everyone just kind of played poorly. That demo just ended by itself. But yeah, overall, we're playing very disconnected. We aren't planning ahead. Our scouts aren't playing with our medic, and it's costed us at least that one round where Unicorn Wizard killed Fusion in choke. And another myriad of reasons. It's just, I don't know, I just feel like everyone's just too disconnected. Everyone just needs to clump up. It can't just be a flank scout and a flank soldier. It needs to be the flank working together. It needs to be the combo with their scout working together, and it can't just be Plan with 7,500 heals doing everything. It's just, there needs to be a change. We've lost 6 games in a row with our scouts bottom healing in every single match, and it's just not working. I know playing combo scout probably isn't fun, but it works. It works. Your medic dies less, people get baited into you, they die to your soldier and your pocket. They die. It just works. I know it probably isn't a whole lot of fun, but what we're doing now, losing, isn't fun either. Something has to change, or we're just going to keep losing and the team's going to die. Calling it now. So, scouts play with medics. Everyone count Uber advantage. Just have a plan. Have a plan for what to do next.